Yeehaw. Gonna pull you up on Facebook too, so we can see if anybody's out there. There's last week's. Oh, it's got up to 7 likes now.
We go. All right. We are live playing us in.
We're live. Do it.
Welcome to Earl and the Idiot, the show that gives you the answers you need to take your business to the next level. With Earl Flormata, one of Vancouver's most sought-after business and marketing consultants, author of Business Engine Optimization, consultant to over 60 successful businesses, an all-around evil marketing genius with a combined total of more than $70 million worth of sales to his credit. And some idiot. Okay, here we go.
Here we
We really
go.
got that. We really got that coordination down, don't we?
Absolutely.
The choreography.
It kind of just wrote itself too. It's not that we planned it. It just kind of just happened.
Yeah, that just made sense. I just felt, I was just sitting here with nothing to do while the credits were rolling. So
Well, you
what
used
was I
remember
supposed to
when you
do?
used to write it and then you just stick it in the camera real bad.
Oh
And
yeah, that's right. I had that little, we didn't have a title card. We still don't have a title card. So I just used to write it as badly as possible, like with crayon.
excellent.
I'm
So
not seeing you. I'm not seeing you on Facebook. Are you live on Facebook?
it's been a minute. I don't know. I think we're supposed to be live on Facebook. Who knows? The I don't know. I always forget what streaming service we use, and then I have to go look it up every single time. And
Ah,
sometimes
well.
it kicks off and just decides to not plug into things.
Hmm.
So I don't know.
Say, Livy, it'll still be out there for everyone.
Well, worst
Yeah, it
case,
has been a while. I don't know why it feels like we went longer last time without doing a show
mhm.
than this time without doing a show, and yet I feel like totally unfamiliar with what's going on.
It's
Like,
been forever
who is
since
this guy?
that's
What
weird.
am I doing? When was
So
like we only skipped a week, didn't we? We did one the week before last.
it was only because of an act of God.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you
I
were.
was the power went out and it was out for like a good, I don't know, 4 hours or something like that. So I'm like, nope, I'm leaving the house.
You were
So
living La Vida Amish.
nice. Well done.
Um, how was that? You were powered down for 4 hours. Did your ice cream go bad, or did you just eat it?
I did not. I just kept the fridge and the freezers shut.
Yeah,
Well, there's this ice cream discount place here in Vancouver that we found, and we
I'm listening.
filled an entire cooler for like $35. And I'm like, there's no way. And it was insane. And we're still that was like a month ago, and we're still going through that. There's so much ice cream. It's
Wow,
insane.
it's
So
selling like the boxes, like pints.
boxes and pints, little tiny containers of it, entire like 4 liter, a 6 liter thing of ice creams. Like we filled the like it's a Yeti. I don't know if you know what like
Yeah, yeah.
one of those Yeti cooler things. So we have one, the soft version. It was full to the brim, and then we had more, right? So for like $35, this whole thing was just packed to capacity.
Are you sure you weren't having some kind of out of body experience and you were actually in fact, heaven?
Maybe that's what heaven tastes like or looks like. It's just infinite ice cream. And so it was so weird though. So we got there and it was empty. And so we started just scoping the place out, going, okay, we're gonna buy one of those, one of those, one of those, one of those. And we literally just wanted everything. And it was insane. This I think party bus dropped off a whole bajillion bunch of people like just after we had finished picking out all our stuff, and like the entire store got flooded with people. So I'm glad that we arrived when we did. And at the same time that day, so my wife and I went out for a lunch thing, and there's this really old ass like greasy spoon place, kind of in the middle of nowhere, Vancouver. It's literally in like a shipping yard, right? The floor is uneven, everything's kind of creaky, but man, they make good food. And so yeah, so we went all the way out there, and the ice cream place was like 5 minutes around the corner. So we're like, okay, well,
Are you
sure, why not?
are you talking about that what is it, like the Great Northern or Great
Yes,
Canadian?
go on.
Yeah, it's like it's in a lumber yard.
Yeah,
Yeah, I went there. I took my dad there for Father's Day last year, I think.
there you go. Their wonton soup is like god level. I like
Oh.
their wonton soup was freaking magic. I'm like, what the hell's in this stuff?
Oh.
So
I didn't
yes,
try the
grandma's
Chinese
recipe.
food. I went with American food. I went with the burger.
I actually did a burger myself. So the burger was fantastic. The like greasy spoon diner style, really good food, and then it was what we were expecting. But the shining moment came from the wonton soup, which was just out of left field. We're like, why is this so good?
Yeah, I remember that place. It was crazy. But where's this ice cream place? Or do you not want to tell people? Do you want to tell me privately later?
I forget what it's called, unfortunately, but I'll find it. We saw it on like some Instagram reel thing. We were just doom scrolling, and we're like, cheap ice cream in Vancouver. We're like, what the hell? And yes, I have it written down somewhere or something like that, or I sent it to Janice, and yeah, I'll find it and I'll
Well,
send. And if any if
that's fantastic.
this and you comment ice cream, when I find it, I'll post it there too. So
Yeah, my girlfriend and I, so many of the things we get up to are things that looked cool on Instagram.
uh-huh.
We're going to the Abbotsford Wildlife Show on the weekend
Okay, interesting.
on Saturday. I'll
So,
report back from
so
that.
speaking of interesting things, I'm so stoked about what we're about to go do tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, are we going to tell everyone?
Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't believe it. I thought, okay, you want to tell? You want to say it?
So we're gonna go train with the Ninja Turtle.
Freaking Ninja Turtle, and we're not talking about some fly by night Johnny come lately, motion capture in the most recent animated Ninja Turtles.
Oh no,
We're
this is
talking about Michelangelo himself from the suit from Ninja Turtles 2, the
yes,
original movie
so much yes.
sequel.
So it turns out he's also like an Arnis Eskrima master. So Datu level. So yeah, man. Oh my god, this is gonna be like life changing.
Yeah, it turns out they don't just let anybody get in those Ninja Turtle suits. You actually have to know what you're doing.
If the dude can do a backflip in a rubber suit and still kick ass, I wonder how fast he can go not in a suit, right?
Oh
So
my god, I'm a little scared. Is he going to be the kind of guy that like whacks your knuckles to teach you a lesson? Because
we're gonna
like,
find. So he taught Shane.
oh,
Now he's gonna teach us.
that's cool. But it's like an open invite. Eh? Anybody can come to that.
Yeah. Master Shashir is coming to come hang out with us in the park, and yeah, for what suggested donation of like $20 to this guy. Good lord.
That's cool. Have you ever met him before?
Nope, I heard of him. Well, clearly because he's a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah. Question: would it be weird if I brought a Ninja Turtle action figure to have him sign?
I don't know.
What kind of guy is he?
I don't know. So maybe who knows? We'll ask Shane, and then we'll just type in the group chat and see what Shane says.
I'll ask. I'm tempted. Maybe, yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know what I don't know what personality the guy has, but I mean, come on. If you're a Ninja Turtle,
Make sure
talk that up.
because that's who we played.
But yeah, Michael. Yeah, of course, of course. I'm not gonna make that faux pas. Have him sign a Donatello.
All right. Well, it's
All right.
is it
Enough
time
shenanigans.
to jump?
You had a good week this week. Lots of good business. Let's talk business. Any cool business stuff happening this week?
Business wise, I'm getting joint ventures through the roof now. So it's
Yeah.
so I think we talked about it in one of the old shows that joint venture is the best methodology to grow. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit just like mid six figures just with a handful of joint ventures,
Nice. Hopefully one of them is with me.
So
um,
we'll talk tomorrow. I have a meeting right after the show, but we'll talk tomorrow for sure.
okay, cool. Good. So just to introduce everybody to the show and how it all works. You probably heard on the intro. This is Earl and the Idiot. We have here Earl, our resident smarty pants, who knows where to get the best ice cream, best and cheapest ice cream in town,
Yes.
and also knows quite a lot about business and some tricks, tactics, tips, best practices, things to do to grow your business. And we're here to share them with you. I am the idiot. I'm here to just ask dumb questions because you can't learn if you don't admit you don't know. That's the ethos of this show. And the way we run our show is we pick a topic. You let me know some things you've encountered this week or some subjects that are relevant. You let me know a few of those, and I pick one out that works for me. And then we tell ChatGPT to rank a show notes for us. I feel like at one point this felt like a revolutionary concept. Now I'm sure literally everybody does it. It's hardly worth mentioning anymore.
I don't
But
know. I still see other people like that who spent a bunch of time writing stuff, and you should just use ChatGPT to research things for you, right? Like you fill in the blanks, you fill in like the meat of the content, but
yeah,
it's really damn good at building like the show notes or the bones of the structure, right?
yeah. I remember way back when I got hired as a blog writer. This is before I was doing writing, and I wasn't into the internet part of things. But this is kind of how it all happened. Was I got hired by a guy to do blog writing, and he was like, "Sure, I'll pay you $30 to write, a 500-word blog for them a month or whatever it was for this company." I was like, "Great, $500. I can poop out 500 words in 20 minutes, whatever. Shoot, $30, good deal." And then he's like, "Great, your first assignment is to write for a company that makes coyote calls."
Really, that was
Yeah,
your first blog, Coyote Calls.
yep, yep. They make these weird little whistle things. You blow them, and I guess it sounds like a coyote, or I don't know if it sounds like a coyote or if it sounds like the thing that a coyote would prey on. Can't even
Hmm.
remember now. This was many years ago, and I was like, "Oh." So there I am spending 2-3 hours per article reading Wikipedia articles about coyotes and hunting coyotes and coyote calls to write this 500 words. And I was like, this suddenly isn't such a great deal anymore. But those days are behind us. It's no longer required. We just
Yeah.
tell ChatGPT what to do and it does it. So it does it for us. It makes our show notes for us. And today's subject was, I won't read this out because it's just sort of you lining out how the show works. Multi-use media using these same clips on YouTube, Facebook, and even Google Maps, really, for maximum viewership. This is very relevant to me. I got this one client. I won't say who he is, but his business lends itself to content creation very handily.
Okay.
And yet he hadn't uploaded anything to YouTube since about 2011 maybe was the last thing he uploaded to YouTube.
Fair enough.
And yet he's in basically working in the entertainment business. So many
Huh.
opportunities for content. And I've been on him and on him and on him. And he finally did a podcast episode where he interviewed somebody sort of like this and gave me and had it cut up into shorts. And now we got thousands and thousands of views for him on YouTube.
Nice.
Question is, when will he do it again? We shall see. But the question is, yeah, so you make a piece of content like a podcast.
Mhm.
How do you just throw it up on YouTube and forget it, or do you maximize it with special Earl know-how?
Well, this is what we're going to walk through, right?
Let's find out. Let's get an answer. So ChatGPT, what are 3 things to work on? And it says, do these like your business depends on it, because it does. The format is 3 things to do, 2 things to not do, and 1 great tip, red hot tip. So first thing, YouTube Shorts, vertical, punchy, hooks you in 1.5 seconds. Okay, I was going to say the lineup, the layout it gave us today is sort of bullet points, not really sentences like usual, but we can still go over this. Vertical, punchy, hook in 1.5 seconds. YouTube Shorts. Earl, go.
Right, perfect timing. So
Mm.
it says that you can reuse content, but don't lazy post it, is what it says, like right before that. And
Oh yeah,
so
I missed that.
so if you're shooting stuff in this current format that you're watching right now, horizontal format, right?
Yeah.
You can't just cut this as is and then just chop it and just throw it on the thing. So what most people do is they just stack us. So right now we're side by side. So what the what like the proper quote unquote edit is just take one stock of like Jenga blocks, stick them on top of each other, right? And then that way it becomes vertical, right? And then take the craziest things that we say, obviously hopefully within context, and make that the hook, right? So make that the crazy thing that starts the video with, and then make sure that happens within the first 1.5 seconds, otherwise you lose
Mhm.
people's attention, right? So attention span has gone down, right? So you only have so much now, so you're competing against not just everybody else, but it's people's attention. So you have to be able to say something that grabs their attention in the first second and a half. And I've noticed myself succumbing to this as well. I'm watching a video. If they don't get to the damn point right away, next, right? And,
Yeah.
and all there is to it. So yeah, you have to the hook or something interesting, or what the damn thing is about, or you know, time is an investment. So if you're not explaining who you are, what you're doing, why I should watch this video, if you look at all of the, let's use Mr. Beast as an example. You
Mm,
know, it's
yeah,
always, hey, I'm Mr. Beast, and today we're gonna find out, can a train withstand, you know, a bazooka? And it's always
right.
like, what? And so you always grabs your attention, always gets you right away. Even like Mark Rober, right? And he's going, oh, we're going to make the Squirrel Olympics. And it's like, what the hell are the Squirrel Olympics? I need to watch this. And so they'll hook you within that first second and a half, right? And that's really, really, really important in every video, not just necessarily the YouTube Shorts, but especially if I see like a 20-minute time frame, or like even our show is like an hour, right? And it's like, well, we don't, you know, you don't see what you're supposed to do. So if you were, you know, really, really promoting the show, I would cut it so that we'd have some sort of intro bit, and in the intro bit, we would talk about what we're going to talk about in the show. And so let's say we marketed our show, and actually, you know, should really, really pushed it.
Right.
I would cut the first couple seconds and make the most interesting thing that we said the first second and a half,
Yeah.
and then cut to the rest of the show.
I've been seeing that more now, where it's like it opens with a clip that's there's a literary term. Like, find that this I learned this literary term in grade 11,
Foreshadowing.
and now I'm a 43-year-old man, and I'm finally using it for the first time. In medias res.
Oh, okay. In medias res.
You heard that one?
Yeah, for sure. So
Means in the middle of things.
yeah. So they cut to the middle, and then they cut back to the beginning. So you now you want to watch up until that point, and now you got it, and then you watch what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
And you'll see that in like sitcoms, right? So the sitcoms, they do this as their opener. So like, for example, a real good example of this is How I Met Your Mother, right?
Mm.
So they'll put something right at the beginning where it's something that's halfway through the story, and you're like, what the hell's going on? But it's interesting enough that it hooks you, and then
Yeah.
it rips back to the beginning, and then you see what happened before all that stuff. The thing happens in the middle of the show, and you're like, oh, that's what that meant. But then you watch the other half of the show because you want to know what happens next.
Yeah, well,
So,
if you got to halfway through a show, you should be hooked at that point.
absolutely.
But,
But the fact that like the medias in
medias
between,
res. I've been noticing this. I guess attention spans are so short now. They do this with YouTube Shorts.
yes,
The YouTube short, like I was just watching one about C3PO. It was the actor that played C3PO,
Mhm.
and he was talking about his favorite part of episode 9 or whatever. And yeah, it started with him saying what his favorite part was, and then cut back and like show the conversation leading up to his answer.
right,
And they do that. They also do that stupid thing now where they loop it around.
yes.
And that's the reason why. And it comes back to, Squirrel Olympics are the best,
But
which is clever.
the loop is so that if you catch it at any given point in time, because now they're also taking into an account that you're not even paying attention to the phone while it's playing, right?
Mm.
So something happens, the dog barks, the kid cries, the door opens, the doorbell hits. You're like, oh, and then you come back, and depends where you hit, and that's the reason why. Go back to the beginning, and then it loops.
I always assumed the loop format was hoping that you don't necessarily realize it's looped, and you end up watching the video a second time, and YouTube sees you as having watched the video on a loop because you liked it that much, but you actually didn't realize it looped because they made the end connect to the beginning again.
That's part
I
of
assumed
it.
it was a trick.
That's part of it as well, for sure.
I have to interrupt with some groundbreaking information. We've had a live comment
Oh, what's the comment?
from Omar Farouk. I don't know Omar. Do you know Omar?
I do not know Omar, or I don't remember the name. But I know a lot of people named Omar, though. So
Maybe Omar used last name you don't know. Well, what's up, Omar? How's it going? Thanks you for watching. He says he's waiting for answers. He says talk about lead gen to automation tools for people who have small businesses. That's a great question. That's a great topic, actually. I'm running into that right now. And if you'd asked that before we did the show notes, I would have suggested that. I am helping someone I know who's an employee of one of my clients is starting her own business now, and so she's taking me with her, and we're starting up her business. And she's asked me to like scope out and recommend a CRM for her, customer relationship management software. And I spent a hell of a time trying to get straight answers out of that. So I think CRMs are something we could talk for a whole episode over. quite
So
easily.
why don't we do that then? So why don't we take Omar's suggestion and we can make that next week's show, and
There you
totally
go.
there.
Omar, now you got to tune in next week. We're foreshadowing. You're all saying. Um, Shout out to Omar. Nice. Okay, what else to say? So YouTube short, vertical, punchy, hook in 1.5 seconds. I even that I feel is like quick. It's like it's got to be instant.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? I've
The
definitely
sooner,
scrolled past the video
sooner the
before
hook,
1.5
sooner
seconds
the
has
hook, the
elapsed.
better. The sooner
What's
the
that?
hook.
Yeah. So all right, Facebook, a mix of square or horizontal captions on emotional angle. Interesting. Interesting.
So the different platforms are watched differently between different one just genres, people, and like attention span structures, right? Well, I know that's a mouthful, right?
Mm,
When you are doom scrolling TikTok, it is a different vibe than when you are just scrolling through Facebook, because it TikTok finds and the algo for TikTok finds different things in a different way. Facebook also finds things in a different way, right? So, if you're friends like this and you're friends with these guys, you might also like this, right? Whereas
yeah.
TikTok is looking at your own stuff and your own watch structure, right? So, emotional angle, yeah, definitely, right? If you try the emotional angle on LinkedIn, you will get less love, right? Because
Mhm.
LinkedIn is supposed to be about business. So if you try the emotional angle on some of that stuff, some people might go, "Oh well, yeah, that's a sad story or whatever." But if you do it on Facebook, you typically get more people to come your way, right?
Yeah.
Because a
I
lot of
I
times I'm
find
on LinkedIn, I see a sad story, I'm like, "Yeah, next, whatever, that's cool." I'm not in the mood for sad stories right now.
like I find that it's hard to put my finger on, but it's like I scroll for video content. I scroll Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube
Mhm.
Shorts, and it's definitely like I don't really feel like a Facebook one right now. Let's go with YouTube. Like I watch YouTube usually when I want to be a little bit more intellectually engaged.
Mm,
I guess my algorithm knows to bring me debates and science and stuff like that.
makes sense.
Instagram, I get more like dogs falling down and stuff like that. So it's definitely like I definitely go to the different platforms for different level of engagement I feel like having.
Absolutely. Oh, so then the whole mix of square or horizontal or captions, yeah, you should be doing those things just so it's different for you can put different bits of stuff on those things. Just don't go like the horizontal, like don't go full out horizontal all the time on Facebook, mainly
Mhm.
because people usually view it on their phone, right? So since they're viewing it
Yeah,
on their phone, keep it to the square kind of stuff. Mostly, but every once in a while, if you do a long post, like this is a long post, and
yeah.
hopefully the integration thing of Robot is working now, but
Mhm.
we'll see.
Um, and so with the format, like it's a weird thing that wider format is longer content. The shorter the content, the taller the format kind of thing.
Absolutely. Think about it. When you watch a movie, what format is it in? It'd be weird if you
Hmm.
watched it vertically, right?
Oh,
But because you're scrolling on your phone, it fits better on a vertical structure. And those are like the little snap tidbits of whatever, right? So when you're trying to, bang through a bunch of really quick stuff, it's easier in the vertical format because to swipe like this is easier than it is to swipe like that. Because now I have to turn it, I have to hold it funny. Sometimes I gotta hold it with two hands, da da da.
yeah.
I can hand it in the vertical format and then just doom scroll with one hand. So yeah, when you're looking at the shorter formats, obviously, yes, um, taller is better for shorter.
Nice. Okay, let's get a little ahead here. Google Maps. Oh yeah, so this I'm really interested. Google Maps via Google Business Profile, horizontal or square, location tagged, service relevant, e.g., see how we renovated this kitchen in Burnaby. Tailor format, caption style, and thumbnail for each one. Same content, different output. So that's interesting. I never really thought to post video content on Google Maps.
So Google Maps is starved for this type of thing because everyone feeds YouTube, everyone feeds, just normal Google, right? But if you think about it, if you were to type ice cream in your phone right this minute, what's the first type of answer Google gives you? And the answer is A map, right? So if you were to whip open your phone, go to Google right now, type in the word ice cream, the first freaking thing it gives you is a map. So if that doesn't give you a hint, what the hell does Google want to deliver? It's really whacking you upside the head with a bat. Hey, you know, give videos on your stuff. And the videos don't even have to be Spielberg-esque, right? You can use a crappy boomerang feature where it's like the video is like a second and it just repeats. And all you do is you take your camera, you take the ice cream, and you go like this, right? And that's it, right? And as long as you can do a bunch of those, right, success leaves clues. And one of those clues is it freaking just bloody well tells you, right? If you submit reviews to Google Maps, they give you X number of points for a review, like the 5 stars. They give you X number of points for writing stuff. They give you X number of points for writing more stuff. They give you X number of points for pictures. And they give you a whack ton of points for video. So again, it just tells you, yo, just do this. And the funny thing is, if you do that properly, you will just get more views on your reviews. You'll get more views on your Google Maps. You'll get more views on your stuff because people are starved for it.
Simple.
Absolutely. So we've been doing this for clients, and he just ranks number 1 in the maps all the damn time. And they're like, yeah, totally. Do not use stock imagery for this crap, right? And it literally says location tagged, right? So location is super important because that's super hyper relevant to people looking on their phone. When people are looking to buy something, usually it's on the phone, right? And if they're looking to buy something, they're probably on the road. And if they're on the road, they want to be able to find your ass. So Google Maps is kind of super relevant for that, which is why the videos on the Google Maps really strike a difference.
So, idiot question. So Google so as long as your reviews aren't too crappy, Google will reward you for the fact that you post content.
Yeah, so just posting content on it makes it more relevant and pertinent content and recent content, right? And I can't stress enough location tagged.
In the video, you can do that like the metadata.
Which, hilariously enough, is
hilarious enough, yes. I said that, and I was like, that's a great segue. So next, step 2. So the first one is, format for the platform. You can reuse content, but don't lazy post it. Number 2 is metadata multiplier. Don't just post the video, optimize the crap out of it. This sounds like it's right up your alley.
Yeah.
YouTube, tags, titles, hashtags, link in bio. You hear this all the time.
So tags, yes. Titles, yes. People stopped using hashtags as much. They don't search via hashtag like they used to. I'm not saying don't do it, but at the same time, don't stress about it like we used to back in the day, right? Yeah. So for whatever reason, hashtags don't have as much oomph or power. So don't figure out the perfect hashtag. Just make some. But yeah, and then link in bio, it it doesn't work as good anymore. So I've noticed that on most of the platforms, saying the magic words "link in bio" actually reduces the amount that you're going to be shown. So instead of putting the link in the bio, what most people have been doing as of late is putting the information either inside the caption, if you're allowed, right? Sometimes you're not allowed to have a link in the caption, but having the link inside the description or having the link inside the first comment.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So right. Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, when you said link in bio, I was thinking of the link in the caption, in the description of the video. That's where I would look for a link. If it was relevant to the video.
That makes absolute sense. It stopped working as much in Instagram as of late, right? So if you even just say the words link in bio, it like turfs like your ability to get that many more views. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's an algo thing. I'm not really sure because I manage like a bajillion people's socials accounts, and so we noticed that link in bio stopped giving it the same number of reach. So what happens if we just stick it in the first comment, and that seems to be okay.
You know what's like, I can't totally articulate it, but I can understand if someone's like, oh yeah, I'm selling this thing, here's a link in the bio. It sort of indicates to me that like they're lazy. They're not going to make a link specifically for this video. They're hoping they can put a link one time in their bio and then just coast on that.
Well, it was also because of restrictions on Insta, right? So Instagram didn't allow you to put links anywhere, right? And the
Okay.
only thing they allowed you to put was guess where, right? So that's why they always said that. But yeah, just times are changing. So, put it in the comment. The other thing is people have been using like an AI called like ManyChat, and there's a couple of different
Yeah.
ones. And comment the word, whatever the keyword is, and I'll send you this thing, right?
Right.
And that seems to be the new hotness because it's always a different one. So does the algo can't pick up on it. So if you comment the word platypus for whatever, and it'll show up, right? So
Yeah.
because it's different every single time, and the keyword's different every single time, I think it's harder for them to put a finger on it. So that doesn't seem to hurt your coverage.
Okay. So comment. I'm gonna make note of that. Comment
First comment.
keyword. Yeah. Okay. Metadata. Facebook. Tag people, locations, and relevant pages.
Absolutely.
I get so many at everyone tags now.
Oh God, don't use that, everyone. Don't use that, followers. Don't use that. That just pisses people off and makes me unsubscribe to things. So
Right.
use it sparingly, right? So but if you were at an event with a friend, tag your friend. They want to see themselves on social media, right? They want to see
Yeah.
them or their video or whatever online. Locations love this sort of thing, right? So if you're doing that, it also makes it hyper relevant, right? Versus so just imagine a tag with a location, tag with no location. You happen to be in that location. Which one is Facebook algo going to show you? Probably the one with the
Right.
location, right?
Yeah.
And relevant pages, same kind of thing. If the business is there, tag them. So you're more likely to get views because you've tagged them, and then you're more likely to get likes, and then you're more likely to get comments and engagement because you were there, right? They were there.
Nice. Okay. Google Maps. Title with keywords. Pin to services. Geotag. I only know about 30% of what that means.
So put the keyword in the title. If you're a plumber, make the word plumber in the title, right? Not hard to do.
So you're making a piece of content. You're a plumber, and so what would the title would be? Vancouver plumber unclogs gross drain, or like
Yeah. But number one, that's attention getting. Number two, it's very descriptive, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a gross drain and you can't, it's like the water's up to your ankles and gross. It's like this pulls your attention because it's super hyper relevant to you. Plus, you use the magic word Vancouver. So if they're in Vancouver, hey, you know what? Our drain sucks. We should probably get one of these guys, right? So all these little things are attention grabbing bits where the keyword, the pin, everything else adds up. And geotag, especially geotag. Again, I know I said that like a bajillion times, but freaking geotag your crap.
And geotagging is a meta tag within the video file itself.
Yeah, so tagging it, this is why I'm saying don't use stock imagery. Because if the stock image was taken in New York and you're in Southern California, that's not going to help as much, right? So there's data inside of your photo. So when you take a picture of the thing that's local to the place that you're at, it's going to do better than the mannequin that was taking a picture of like halfway across the country. So it's important to have that piece, which is why I keep beating to death geotag.
All righty. Treat every platform like it's Google search. What does that mean?
The best practices on Google search, right? Title with keywords. If your thing is for plumbing and you put the word spaghetti, you're not going to get a whole lot of searches for that, right? So in Google search, the best practices are make sure the title's freaking relevant. Well, yeah, right?
Simple enough.
Basic Google 101, right?
Yeah. All right. Number 3 thing to do when it comes to reusing content: cross-pollinate and stack views. Link your YouTube video in a Facebook comment. Embed the video in your Google business post. Drop shorts. Don't drop your shorts, everybody. Drop shorts into email, newsletters, and stories. Create a feedback loop. One video, many paths to eyeballs.
I agree with some of them.
Okay.
So if you link your YouTube video in a Facebook comment, Facebook won't like it. Because remember, the purpose of these architectural channels are to keep you on these architectural channels. Like Facebook doesn't like it when you leave, right?
Right.
Instead of linking your YouTube video there, you know, like natively upload it to Facebook and then link to your post in the Facebook comment. So AI fail, right?
Say it again. Sorry, I didn't catch that.
So you can upload your video to YouTube, or you can upload your video to Facebook.
Right.
Okay. So many years ago, we were running an SEO agency, and we got one of those new Nerf guns. Okay. And the thing was, we took a can, I flipped it in the air like like a pull, right?
Yeah.
And then he shot the can out of the air with the Nerf gun. And it was a fun, just dumb experiment, just to see what one. It was a cool friggin' video. Two, we did it in slow mo. So when the bullet hit the can, everyone's like, "Ooh!" in slow mo. So one, the video was hilarious. Two, I posted the video multiple times on multiple channels using multiple structures. So what I did was I posted it on YouTube. I grabbed the YouTube link and I threw it on Facebook. Then I took the video, then I stuck it on just Facebook. We got like 300% more views on the native Facebook post than we did on the YouTube posting to Facebook.
Right.
Right. So post natively on whatever platform you can, because they don't want people to leave. Right. Remember, all of them want that. So again, if you can post on X and you want to keep the video there, keep it there. Don't post the YouTube on X, because now X is going to get mad at you. Right. Same thing goes for LinkedIn. Why do you think when we stream this stuff, like this stream, our show right now, it natively posts on every platform? Post to YouTube and then post to everything that this is streaming right now direct to the platform, so it's a native video on the platform. So therefore, that gives us the best chance to get more views if we actually made the website or part of the show. Right. So it's like, okay, so we're making the content, but we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. But I mean, we do this for exposure and fun anyway. So
yeah, I just do this to get recognized at networking events. That's all I want.
As the idiot. All right, cool.
All right, so maybe the cross-pollinating is not necessarily so much an important move.
It's the
cross-posting, but not sending.
Yeah.
You don't want to send viewers all over the place.
Don't send viewers to multiple platforms. Post on the platform, right?
But then your post on the platform could direct them to like your own website.
Yes, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then embedding the video in your Google Business post, yes, that's an absolute yes. Dropping your shorts, no, but dropping your shorts in email newsletters, absolutely. So yes, so it's good, but again, try not to piss off the platform that you're on. Right. Don't insult them by sending people someplace else.
10-4. Okay, here we ended to things to avoid. Oh, we're running a little behind here. Things to avoid, brackets. Seriously, stop that. Okay, ChatGPT. Thanks. 1, posting without a hook. Just uploaded this. Hope you like it. Cool. Your audience won't. Start with a problem, a punchline, or holy crap, did you see that? Make it thumb stopping. Oh, there's a new phrase.
Thumb stopping.
That stopped me that stopped me dead in my thumb.
Right.
My thumb came to a screeching halt.
A problem, a punchline, or holy crap, did you see that? Yeah, absolutely. Just uploaded this for no friggin' reason, and then there's no context, and it's just like, here's a video because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah. Right.
No, right? Like, and that just makes sense, period. Right? It doesn't matter, right? Like, if there's no purpose for the video and you don't give me a purpose for the video and it's completely out of context, I'm not going to enjoy watching it. And neither will anybody else.
That's fair enough.
Unless it's visually pleasing.
Right.
Right. If I said just posting this here for reasons, and I took my camera inside the ice cream store and went ham, cool. Right.
Yeah. But then it's kind of joking. You're the real reason you're posting it because, oh my God, look, ice cream.
Yes.
Holy crap, did you see that? As in, holy crap, did you see that?
So it is a holy crap, did you see that approach? But, I'm posting this because reasons, and the reasons are ice and cream, right? And so totally cool. But if I'm just posting a picture of like my dog taking a crap in the back, who cares?
Right. I had a client I was advising on that, and I was like, gave him a whole bunch of tips on what he should post, what this, that, and the other, and then just posted totally irrelevant stuff.
All right. Next
What
one.
was I supposed to do? All right. Use the exact same captions everywhere. That's interesting. It reeks of automation to make Facebook's algorithm. Oh, right. This is things to avoid. Why are we doing this? It reeks of automation and makes Facebook's algorithm roll its eyes. Adapt tone per platform. We go through these tones.
Yeah, go for it.
Facebook, casual and personal. YouTube, search optimized curiosity. Okay. Google, location service based call to action. Call to
Here.
action, like get down here and get some ice cream right now.
Yeah, exactly. So here's the thing. Like, this is not hard to do in this day and age, right? ChatGPT knows what to write for each platform. It'll take your message and reformat it in your own words and your style, but it'll still adhere to the architecture of each of the different platforms. And it'll format it in a freaking table for you. So if you're not doing this, there's lazy, and there's just too damn lazy, right? That's too damn lazy. It takes 5 seconds to write a prompt that says, yo, rewrite this caption for Facebook, Insta, TikTok, LinkedIn, X, and it'll write it in the style of that platform. Don't be so lazy that you just use the same. Yeah, I agree with that one wholeheartedly. Don't use the same caption everywhere. Facebook will know. And yeah, even though Facebook owns Insta, different captions.
Nice. All right, this is interesting. The red hot tip. I like this. Google Maps loves video right now. Most businesses don't even know that you can post videos in your Google business profile. That means insane organic. Actually, I'm gonna write this down. This is perfect for a client of mine. Most businesses don't even know you can post videos to your Google business profile. That means insane organic reach if you're early. Yeah, all my life I've been waiting to get into something early. Post a 30-second service highlight, client testimonial, or how we do it clip once a week. Watch your map views and search visibility explode like a microwave burrito. It couldn't go one show without a metaphor, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're exploding like we're going to splatter our business all over the microwave of our service area.
Yeah. So I mean, Google Maps does love video, and it's because nobody posts. So, just think about it, right? Richness of data. So, you one option, you get to watch like an old ass movie on one of those, crankety little things, and it's really old. Yeah, exactly. Right. Versus you have this ultra 8K, you can see every whisker on the mountain lion. Like, holy cow, you're gonna pick the one that's prettier and alluring to the eye, right? So that's really, unless you're there for like a vintage film, you're always gonna pick the one that's more alluring to the eye. So the posts with the videos, hey, look, something's moving. Your eye just naturally gravitates to the moving thing. You're like, oh, okay, cool, right? So super important, and it's so easy to do, and no one does it. And all you have to do is just showcase this. So the thing where it says post a 30-second highlight, yeah. Service highlight. Do a before and after shot. Before, after. The dumbest deadpan ever with a camera. That's it. 15 seconds of before, 15 seconds of after. Magic, right? Client testimonials. People love that, right? And so, but who knows if the testimonials on your Google system review are legit or not. But when someone's actually making a video of it, you're like, okay, well, that's the real thing, right? That's huge. And then how we do it, man, some people have super cool visual jobs. Like, I don't, right? If you ever just videoed me, it's just some guy sitting at a desk and talking on Zoom.
Tabby.
Right? Yeah. So, but this one dude, he built like these architectural wonders. Like, he was a carpenter and he made the coolest things. I'm like, if you just took a camera and just put that on, like, time lapse, I would watch that. Right? We watch people cut grass, for God's sake, right? So
those are great.
I still watch them and I'm still mesmerized and I don't know why. But imagine you did that and you were a lawn mowing company and you just have a bunch of just speed runs where you're just cutting grass and it's just you going real fast and the grass is now beautiful. People will watch that because they're starved for content, right? I watch that on regular YouTube now. Of course, if I'm perusing Google Maps and I find you and I see that video, I'm going to watch the stupid thing. So absolutely. So which brings us to
hack of the week.
All right. So the hack of the week is people suck on camera. People suck on camera. Unless you're trained, you suck on camera, right?
Ouch, Earl. That's a big ouch.
Well, because they're not used to it. right? So I put my camera up so my client is speaking completely normally, right? I go like this, and all of a sudden, deer in headlights. I'm like, dear Lord, right? And they were talking fine, just like if you just had that recorded like 30 seconds ago, that would be freaking magical for your stuff. And so what I do is I do interview style, right? So people are, generally smart about what they're expert in, right? Like, so they have expertise in something. It's just that there's two different personas, right? It's you telling the people what you think they need to know versus someone asking you the question and pulling it out of you, right?
Right.
If I just did this show solo and it wasn't you asking me questions, the way I would deliver would be very different. Because you come at me with questions, I'm like, okay, well, how about this? And how about that? And how about that? We're having a discussion. It's conversational. You pull new stuff out of me in this format versus if I just tell you, here's a list of shopping things to do when you do blah, 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 right? Best practices. Even if I did, here's what to do, what not to do, it wouldn't be as entertaining. And two, right, you wouldn't get that as much out of me, right? Because people are tribal and creatures, right? Like we need to talk to other humans. So when you do an interview style, new stuff comes out of you, and then you use multiple methods from there. So do that long clip thing and then sort via the best clips, sort via the searchable keywords, sort via buyer intent, sort via funny, right? So, and post it all because it's one clip, right? Like it's one long clip, chop into a million pieces. Who cares? Because you don't know what people want, and then throw it up there, throw it against the wall and see what sticks, right? And then make more of what they want, but keep testing. Right. And then last but not least, if you're a big company, use AI to give you the data. What's performing in your sector? Okay. So I just did this for one of my clients. What would perform better on an ad or a video? One person or multiple people? It depends on the sector, right? What would perform better, male or female? Right. So in the sector that we were in, I honest to God thought put the pretty blonde on the thing and that's going to happen and blah, blah, blah. And then people are going to click on it because she's pretty. They get the attention. No, absolutely wrong. In this sector that we're in, I'm not going to name names of the sector, but dude, gray hair at a computer.
Oh,
like crushed, like but not by a little, by a lot. Right. And like I was shocked and awed. I'm like, doesn't the girl always win? No, it does. They do not. And so
right.
and then
the gray hairs still have their uses, eh?
absolutely. And then
Nice.
what kind of messaging resonates, best with the ads that are successful? That information is important, and which ads are running the longest. So you can use the data to make better decisions and understand what to do. And here's the hilarious thing. I know this is a show about video. You know what the best performing things are in the sector for the company I was talking about? Still images, fresh videos in that sector, whereas every other sector video wins. Right. So this is how come if you do have the budget for this sort of thing, right? So if you're spending like 100,000 plus on marketing costs or this or that, spend I think it's like 10, 20 grand on the information so that when you are doing this stuff, right, you're not burning 30 to 40% of your ad spend on stuff that's not working, right? Where artificial intelligence, we were just saying this. Why is AI good? Well, because it saves you a bunch of time and effort, right? And I know I said this earlier on in the show, but success leaves clues, right? You can just monkey see, monkey do, and you'll all of a sudden be like leagues ahead just because you use the data set prior to guessing in the dark, right? So if your ad strategy is and put it in the air and go, well, wind's blowing that way. Well, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. Who knows, right? Whereas the numbers don't lie. So
I think checking to see which way the wind is blowing is actually more work than a lot of people do on their marketing campaigns. They come up with something and then they just throw it out there and they don't even check to see if the wind blew or not.
No, and that's a sad truth. So there you go. That's a wrap. There's a show.
Beautiful. All right. It's always good when we take a break to realize we didn't lose our step. I think we had a good show.
Well, we made it just nick of time because I got to run at 5. So
oh yeah. Once again, shout out to Omar. What's up? No other likes this week. Bad. Although I didn't check Instagram or I didn't check LinkedIn. But
all right.
I guess we better have you play us out. Thanks everyone for watching. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, Earl, for your nuggets of wisdom. Thank you, ChatGPT, for doing the hard work for us.
And thank you. What do you use to make your director chair robot with the?
But ChatGPT.
That's ChatGPT. Well, thank you, ChatGPT, again for double duty and making that thing.
Yes.
And thank you, Dan, for being an excellent co-host. Here we go.
I do what I can. Adios.
Thanks for listening to Earl and the Idiot. We hope you learned something you can take action on this week. For more information or to contact the show, visit earlandtheidiot.com. And until next time, remember what Shakespeare said. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
Bye, everybody.